Hello and welcome. If you are new here, my name is Kira, and this week I just got my vehicle back from a friend who's been borrowing it for a little over a week, and I'm getting ready to restock everything that I carry with me on a daily basis. And as a mom of 3 little boys, I thought this might be something great to share with you as a new mom or even a seasoned mom who might not be carrying these things around and think that it's a good idea for you to start. Because as moms, we kind of live out of our vehicles sometimes. They go everywhere with us, especially when you have little children. And so some things you might not be stocking, but might be a good idea to start. I am not a minivan mom. I drive an SUV and I love it. It means that I don't have a ton of trunk space whenever I have all 3 seats up, but when I have my seats down, I make sure that I utilize the space back here the best that it possibly can be. For starters, I have the trunk, which usually has a lot more storage space than you even realize. My stroller basically always lives in here, and I even know how to put it in so that when I take it out, it will easily unlatch for me. And then I also have this under storage area, which is where we keep pretty much everything for the vehicle. So ratchet straps, any kind of tow straps, a little roadside kit, and my vehicle manual, which I will show you what is in my glove compartment instead. There's a few things that I always keep in the secret little storage area over here, and that would be a first aid kit, because you never know when you're going to need that. I always have one in the diaper bag too, and this is stocked with much more than it originally came with because we go through those band-aids very quickly. I also keep this, which is a super large picnic blanket, beach blanket, whatever you want to call it, that we can sit on if we're out and about and decide we want to have a picnic somewhere and don't want to sit on the ground. The toddler leash backpack, which I didn't used to believe in until my second child came along who likes to run in the streets. And the life vac, which is a choking tool. And this way I know I always have it with me, because if my vehicle's here, then it's at home, or if I'm out, I have my vehicle with me. I also keep a tie down for our dog in the back next to all of this, primarily to keep him from jumping up into the front of the seats, and the poor thing saw the leash and got really excited and thought we were about to go on a road trip today. Here is my everything basket that goes right in the middle of the car, and it has my hip carrier, my ergo carrier, a rain jacket for each kid, and then the rest of it is toys and books for road trips, as well as a bag made just for restaurants. For an everything basket, I try to keep this as organized as possible by putting books on one side and toys on the other side. Pippin was trying to be a great helper today, even though we didn't really need his help. We usually take all of our imagination library books that we get for free and put them into this basket, so then there's always new books coming every month for my children to read when we're in the car. Sometimes if I don't want to throw my carriers on top here, I will just toss them in the back on top of my stroller so that I can grab them from anywhere all the time, and it all fits perfectly behind my one rear-facing kid. Behind the passenger seat, I keep 2 things that might be the most important things for a mom to keep in her vehicle. One of which is plastic bags, because you don't think you need them until you have a child that's had an accident or a child on their way somewhere that tells you that they feel sick. I learned that one from experience. And the second thing that goes hand in hand with that is an entire roll of paper towels. I keep it shoved back here so I can grab it easily. And they've come in handy way more times than I wish to admit. Do you know what I don't keep in my glove compartment? Is the vehicle manual. That I keep in the back of the car in case it's really necessary. But what I do keep in my glove compartment that I've used way more often than my vehicle manual is change of clothes for my children, pull-ups, and a spare pacifier. While I do keep the manual in the back, there are a few things that I do keep up front, like my registration, my inspection, my insurance, all of the fun things that you might need, as well as some scissors and chargers. But they take up a lot less space than the huge manual. And this small bag fits perfectly in this little compartment in the front of the car. Can you cut off other paper to glue onto the pink paper instead of cutting the crayon? But cutting the crayon means we can't use the crayon anymore. Why don't you get another color paper and sit at the table to do that? I don't want to. The center console is where it gets really fun. I'm a very tidy and organized person, and I've tried storing things in bags before, but it seems that it never really works out, and when you need to get to something in a hurry, it is not the best way to store things. So let's get started on the fun things that go in the center console. My center console is pretty deep, but I want to make sure I put things lowest in it that I don't need very often, but want to still have in the car. So one is a flashlight. Two would be the shoulder straps that my child refuses to put on his seat, but sometimes wants on them. Then I have tick twisters because we live in an area that has ticks and you always want to have those handy. Some dandelion ointment that I've made because you never know when you need ointment or lotion. Bug spray. Hand sanitizer. Some organic lollipops for bribery at the store. A headscarf for when I forget one for church. And the most used, some baby wipes. And that would be all. Most of my pens are stored in that bag with other important information, but I do keep a couple pens right here that are easy to access. I keep a nice stress ball for myself for when I'm nice and stressed out that has obviously been chewed on by children. And my prayer rope because if I'm not wearing it, that's where it stays. Keep one nice small umbrella in my door for if I need something in a rush, but if I'm out with the kids and need a big umbrella, that's what's in the back, that big golf umbrella. And up in the sunglass holder, I keep the little tool that can be used to cut car seat straps or straps in general or puncture a window in case of an accident. I have a charger for my phone that is the perfect distance from the center console to right here so that I do not need to have extra wire hanging around. And right here, I'm actually placing a new one because this one had fallen off after a lot of use. My brand new magnet for my phone. This takes up hardly any space and my phone sticks on it so strong that it's the perfect place to put for directions if you don't have a navigation system. The best part about having my phone magnet here is that this is the only place in my entire vehicle that I will put my phone. So if I think I've left it in the car, I can go and check there. And if it's not there, I know I didn't leave it in the car. And last but not least, in the passenger door, I keep a tire pressure gauge as well as a lint roller because my parents have cats. I hope this little tour gave you some good insight. There's a child on my car. Into where you can store things in your vehicle. I have been storing things this way in my vehicle for over a year now, and I have found that it is the best way to access everything that I need, and I don't feel like anything is just wasting space and just sitting unused. It can be really difficult to try to be a more minimalist mom, but also want to be prepared should any issues arise, and this seems to be the best happy medium for everyone. There's still a child on my car.